How many horror movies can two spooky besties watch in 5 months? Today, we're going to be talking all about how we kept the spook alive during our break, all the horror movies we watched, and the ones we're most excited for this year.
Cool Mates Entertainment presents Not Another Spooky Podcast.
Hey, Ghoster Squad! Welcome back to Not Another Spooky Podcast, aka your favorite spooky slumber party. I'm Mandy Spooks.
And I'm Rabbit. We're just two lifelong besties keeping the spook alive together all year.
Today we're grave digging into how we kept the spook alive through our winter slumber, and it's not a slumber party if we don't talk about all of the latest horror movies. To set the vibe for this episode, let's get into some slumber party shenanigans. Today's game is Bone, Marry, Slash. So if you have to bone, marry, and slash from these characters, what would your lineup be? We have the original Bride of Frankenstein, Lisa Frankenstein, and the Bride.
Okay, let's see. Okay, bone, marry, slash. It's been so long since I've had to do this. I am like a little rusty.
The pressure is on.
I know. Okay, let's start with slash because I feel like could be maybe the easiest. Unfortunately, it's gonna have to be the OG Bride of Frankenstein. I'm sorry. Confession, I've never seen the movie. So I can't miss what I don't have. So I'm gonna slash it. Bone, I'm gonna go with the Bride. She seems like a fun time, go crazy. We'll have like a wild night out in the club, having
That's
fun.
true.
Yeah. Like a one night stand kind of thing. And then I'll have to marry Lisa Frankenstein only because of the 80s vibes and the whole 80s setting in that movie. I was like in love with the fashion and just like the hair and everything. So I would just love to like live in an 80s timeline. That'd be great. What about you?
That's fair. Interesting. I was worried we were going to have the same lineup for this one. So I hate to say this because we couldn't have any of them without the original, but I think I'm going to slash her. To be fair, we now have a reimagining that gives her a way better character, so I think it only makes sense that we would slash her, even though it's one of those like she had to walk so these could run. Apparently that's the trend that Gen Z loves to say now. um and then I would wait, I don't even know if I said slash, but slash the original.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'm rusty. Okay, and then Bone Lisa Frankenstein. Yes, she is super fun. But I will talk way more about it. But the Bride has stolen my entire heart. I would marry her. I feel like she would empower me to be even more empowered, if that's even possible. And teach me a lot, honestly. Like her little Mary Shelley brain is so smart and intellectual. So I just think that it would be a perfect fit. We could have brain attacks together. So yeah, that's my lineup.
I like it. I feel like you and the Bride will like really hit it off. I feel
I
like just seeing
know.
you two in the room would be kind of scary, honestly.
She was written just for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some haunted housekeeping. Okay, Ghosters, I guess I will address the skeleton in the room. We may have taken a longer break than we anticipated, so thank you so much for your patience. I spent a lot of my break figuring out how to continue doing everything I love alongside filmmaking without making it hard to sustain. So we have decided to evolve this into a monthly podcast. Rabbit had the clever idea to release it on the cursed 13th day of every month, so you'll be able to catch us again on May 13th when we celebrate halfway to Halloween. And naturally, we suspect that these episodes will probably be a lot longer since we'll be going longer periods of time without catching up with each other. So you'll have an entire month to finish the long episode. The other minor change you may or may not notice is that we are evolving away from using our segment sounds to save some time in the editing process. But I have challenged Rabbit over here to do his own little special sound effects. So who knows, maybe something brilliant will be born today. And I think that's it. So I'm very proud of myself. After a 5-month break, I kept it pretty short.
That is really short for a 5-month span of no contact.
I know. I'm proud of myself. Evolving.
But yes, no, I think breaks are really important for anything in life, even if it's something that you do enjoy. I think breaks really put your mind and, I don't know, like mind and body at ease. And like, okay, I'm taking a little rest from everything. I'll be able to come back full force and ready to hit the ground running, as they say. But no, I think it's good. And plus, I'll be taking a lot, or at least like the end part of like when we stop recording is like all the editing part of it. I'll be taking over that. So that's one, exciting, and two, scary. Because now it's like it's on me to get the episode out on time, and it's on me to get, the sound quality where it's supposed to be and make sure everything lines up correctly, which is kind of scary. And I was kind of surprised that you challenged to the special effects, because some of the stuff that I like is kind of crazy, which I won't do because I don't know if you remember my old edits that I used to do. They were very like ADD and kind of like random stuff happening at random times. So don't give me too much freedom because I'll probably go crazy.
That's funny. No, but I meant like in real time. Like, you know how Bailey Sarian sings her like, or she used to, because I think it was copywritten, but like the shana sha, shana sha.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
so that's why it's a challenge, because I know you get shy.
No, that, yeah. Okay, yes, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, for sure. Now I'm scared.
I didn't want to focus on it too much when we were prepping, because I was like, if I push, he's gonna overthink it. So now you're just kind of like thrown in, and we'll see what Rabbit comes up with.
True. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it with me is just throw me in and like throwing a baby into water and they'll start swimming, right?
You do thrive under pressure.
I do. I think that's when I do my best work is when I have a deadline, or if I'm just like thrown into it and I to get it done. So that's true.
Yes. But I do want to thank you. You deserve so much kudos for being so patient with me, but also I've said this before, but having you as the co-host brought so much consistency to the show that I really like lacked in the past, cuz I just like my brain would be brain attack. I'm telling you, that's like my new brand. My brain attacks would happen and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I want to do this." And then I'd pivot and I'd do this and I'd have to like quit cuz I was too busy. But there were so many times in the last 5-6 months that I'd be like, I feel pressure, like we should start, people are watching and they're waiting, and you'd be like, no, not until you feel ready. It doesn't matter like what's happening, it has to be like when you feel ready. It's important. And so you have taught me so much about work life balance, which is funny because like I never anticipated like those would be the things you teach me as a creator.
Yeah, that is true. No, I just think it's important to know when it's time to like start doing something again, and not doing it just because you feel pressured to do something. Because I feel like here in this little podcast that we have, we're kind of like our own bosses, so we can just do whatever we really want it to. I mean, yes, we do have to make sure that we are entertaining the audience, but in reality, we're kind of our own bosses. And if we're just not feeling it, unfortunately, we're not feeling it. And I think that would lead to a not bad episode, but episodes that don't feel thought out, don't feel heartfelt. So I think it's needed to take those breaks and coming back when you're ready.
That's true. And I will also say, when Rabbit stopped posting, I was just like, oh my gosh, he's quitting on me. He doesn't want to do it anymore. And you kept saying, like, no, I'm fine. I'm just taking a break. And then I saw him start posting, and then I was like, oh my God, you can really be that way. You could take breaks and then start posting again.
Yeah, I call it my hibernation period. I'm like a bear. Like once the cold starts setting in, once wintertime comes in, I just like want to hide away from everybody and not be seen. And then springtime comes up like a little rabbit, a little bunny rabbit,
It's
and
true.
I want to
Springoween is
jump
your
in.
season.
It really is. I love spring Halloween. For some reason I'm like so excited for the Halloween season, and it's barely April. But it's like the anticipation of the season, I think, is like the most fun for really the Halloween season, I feel.
It's the anticipation, HHN, and then that's it.
Yeah. And then it's over.
All right, Ghoulsters, before we grave dig into today's main event, let's turn this spooky slumber party into a seance and call upon Menser Van Ghoul.
Well, welcome back. I'm very excited this week because I want to revisit something that I started last year. There's nothing like, completing the cycle. With spring coming around the corner or just happening, I kind of just wanted to close all loose ends from the last year and really celebrate the start of something new. So, in order to close that out, I want to revisit my ice cream social that I did last year, where I just took some iconic Disney villains and turned them into popsicles, featuring Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, the Evil Queen, and of course, the love of my life, Ursula the Sea Witch. So I just wanted to share this final creation with you to kind of put on display my ice cream socials. These are my
Oh,
girlies. Yeah, Cruella, Maleficent, Ursula, and this Evil Queen all together as some cute little lollies.
that is so cute. I love it. And, I'm going to pressure you to push the heck out of these for Summerween because they're so cute.
Yeah, I really want to focus on Summerween this year because I feel like we've never done it before, Rabbit and I. So I just wanted every year the spooky season starts early and earlier, so why not start now?
Yeah, for sure. I've noticed that people skipped Springoween completely. And I'm like, what the heck? We still have Springoween, and there's so many magical things about Springoween itself. So, yeah, way to go on getting ahead with everyone else on the Summerween.
Yeah, these are cute, but I'm still living in the spring Halloween. I'm feeling the spring air and the spring flowers, but I'm loving these stickers, especially the Corella with the little janky eye. It's a little
Yeah,
crooked. It's so cute.
they never come out of the bag perfect, so I had one that was just a little bit off.
That's true. That is very on brand with the popsicles. Oh, now I
Mm-hmm.
want one. I miss them. But also, I have to say that I do have the actual prints of some of these stickers,
Oh, that's
and I
right.
feel like these are gorgeous. But I have to say, if these are available online by the time we release this episode, this seeing it digital does not do them justice because they sparkle, and it is so freaking cool. So if they are available online, I'll let Menser mention the link here, putting him on the spot.
They should be. I'm working with my manager. You may know him as Rabbit, to make sure that gets going.
Okay, cool. Not to put you on the spot, but yeah, whenever they're available, we're happy to share them, and I highly recommend them because they're super cute, sparkly, magical, and synergistic as always.
Sketch you later.
All right, Ghosters, grab your notebooks and pencils because Slash is in session. That's your cue, Rabbit,
It is.
for the sound effect.
Oh, I was like, wait, what am I supposed to say? We didn't discuss this before.
I told
Um,
you it would make for funny content. I'm gonna try that again so you have 3 seconds to figure it out.
okay.
All right, Ghosters, grab your notebooks and pencils because Slash is in session.
Ding 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 ding.
That's perfect. You see, I love it. All right, in honor of our inaugural monthly episode releasing on the 13th of the month, I thought we should dig into why the number 13 is so spooky. So, why was the number 13, or why has the number 13 been cursed for centuries? It all comes down to one thing: it breaks the pattern. For most of history, 12 represented completion: 12 months, 12 hours, 12 zodiac signs. It's even, it's clean, and it closes the loop. But 13, it's extra and it does not belong. Is it me? Am I the number 13? Well, that extra has a history of causing chaos. In Norse mythology, the 13th guest, Loki, crashed a dinner and triggered death. In Christianity, Judas was the 13th at the Last Supper, cue betrayal. On October 13th, 1307, King Philip the Fourth, sorry, I'm rusty on my my Roman numerals. King Philip the Fourth of France ordered the mass arrest of the Knights Templar, a powerful religious order, and many were tortured and executed. Over time, this event got wrapped into superstition, giving Friday the 13th its reputation as a day of misfortune. So, what started out as a number that didn't fit became a symbol of betrayal, chaos, and death. And honestly, that's kind of iconic and perfect because at its core, 13 represents something we still fear today, the unknown variable, the thing that does not follow rules, the moment where control slips. So next time you see the number 13, don't just think bad luck. Think of it as the number that reminds us not everything is meant to stay perfectly in order. And sometimes that's when things get interesting. So, with that being said, I think releasing our episodes on the 13th actually makes a lot of sense for this podcast. So, thank you, Rabbit, for that clever, unorderly suggestion.
You're very welcome. And now I love the number 13 or Friday the 13th even more from this little session, just because I don't know. I don't think anything in the world is perfect. So kind of like doing this not as a rebellion where like things are supposed to be a certain way, but I feel like people have this thought of like everything has to be perfect, everything has to be a certain way, and number 13 is kind of like saying like no, it's not. It's like sorry. There's always going to be something that goes wrong. There's always going to be betrayal or it's just, something that doesn't belong, and I think that's what makes it special. So I like Friday the 13th.
I know, right? And now we have like a fun little trivia thing to share with people on Friday the 13th, which would have come
Exactly.
very much in handy this year.
I know, right? I don't even know when the next one is, so I'll have to look that up.
I don't think it's anytime soon. I checked, I think, because of this. I was like, oh my God, we should have released this on Friday the 13th. What is wrong with us?
Oops.
We were
There'll be
still
more.
hibernating. We were processing.
Yes. I was sleeping.
All right, Ghosters, it's time for. Hold on. Are you ready, Rabbit? Here comes your next cue. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ghosters, it's time for our favorite chat of the month, Keeping the Spook Alive.
Ooh.
Snaps for Rabbit.
Oh gosh.
All right, Rabbit. How have you been keeping the spook alive the past 5 to 6 months?
Oh my God. That was such a hard question for myself when I was taking notes for this episode. I had to really dig deep into the archives. And by that, I mean going through my camera roll on my iPhone, going through my album. And it's like, what did I do these past 5-6 months? And the one thing that stuck out was I went to go see the theatrical production of Paranormal Activity, which was amazing. Well, one, I had to watch it because it's like a horror theatrical production play, whatever you want to call it. And we had been watching all of the Paranormal Activity movies. Like we had a whole marathon watching every single one. I even ranked them in a TikTok I made. But I was like, we can't not go watch this. So I got us tickets. I believe it was in either like late November or early December. So it was in winter. It was cold. And we went up to Los Angeles and it was really, really, really good. I did not expect to be scared in like a live production, but I was left with chills in some of the scenes. And I think because it was like you can't hide behind the screen. Like when you're watching a movie or watching a show, you can't hide behind a screen. Like you're in the room with whatever's happening and you're kind of like stuck in there and I don't know, chills. So I don't know if I want to do spoilery part, but there's just like one really good scene that I wanted to talk about. What do you think?
Spoil it. I mean, I feel like most people won't have a chance to see it. Like, I haven't heard about it coming to Denver.
Yeah, I think it was only here for like 2 months. I think it's still touring. I don't know what city it's in right now. But okay, there was one scene that really like shook me, which I think is like the one scene that everybody talks about. Like if you go on like TikTok and look at people reviewing the show, but it's kind of like the original where it's about a couple, going through life and figuring out how to live together, I guess. Anyway, they get in a fight, right? They get in a fight and the girl goes upstairs to take a nap or just get away from him. And he stays downstairs and she comes downstairs. She's walking down the stairs and she's in kind of like her PJs and like a robe and like a hood. So she's like walking, and she's like walking down the stairs and she's in kind of like her PJs and like a robe and like a hood. So she's like walking down the stairs and she's in kind of like her PJs and like a robe and like a hood. So she's like walking down the stairs and she's in kind of like her PJs and like a robe and like a hood. So she's like walking through, and I think he like acknowledges her and he's like trying to talk to her, but she's like super silent. She's not saying anything. She's just like walking, and she goes to the kitchen, and she still has her robe on and her hood on, and she goes up to the kitchen. I think she's making tea. So she's setting up some tea, and you just see like the back of her because her back is facing the audience, and you're just watching her make tea. And I think he's like talking to her, I think, from what I remember. So that's happening. But then you see her walking down the stairs in just like regular PJs with no hood and no robe. And she starts walking down the stairs, and he's like, wait, what? And he looks at the hooded figure, and then the hood just like collapses on the floor and like disappears. It was so scary that I had goosebumps all over my arms, and you could just hear everybody in the audience go like, they were just gasping in like, what the heck just happened? It was so creepy. It was so good though. I loved it. So it's kind of like that, or it's like little spooky things that give you like goosebumps, and that was fun.
Yeah. So was it like a person in like you could tell there was a person wearing this hoodie in the stage, or
Hmm.
was it lit to look like it was just like a floating hoodie?
No, it was there was a person in there for sure. I think they used like a trap door or something, um,
Oh,
where they
okay,
like
okay.
use a trap door to like jump out into like, I don't know, the dishwasher. And the hood just like fell down. But no, it was good. It freaked me out. It was a good time.
Dang. That's cool. I would think it would make it to Denver if it's successful, because Denver is like there's a huge horror community here, so I feel like it would do really well.
Yeah, I think so too. And if it's in your city, go watch it. It's a lot of fun because there's other scary parts that are also like unexpected like that. So definitely go watch it. It's a good time. But how about you? How have you been keeping the spook alive lately?
Well, most of my 5 to 6 months. I keep saying 5 to 6 because I don't think it was a whole 6, but it feels like it was more than 5. But most of it went to Bad Boy. So we have officially wrapped. We had our wrap party, and we're in post production now. I feel like I have talked everyone's talked everyone's ear off about this on every platform, so I won't talk about all of like the heartfelt, meaningful, change my life stuff anymore. But it was just like such a huge learning experience, and post production has been a lot slower than we anticipated. It's just like it started off as a like 11-page script, and Mr. Spooks really wanted to push it to the limit as far as like this needs to be the piece that showcases like everything we are capable of doing. So we kind of turned it into like a mini movie. And so like traditionally short films are supposed to be like short horror scenes, almost like it should be feel more like a scene that could be expanded into a wider universe versus like a full movie or like a full complete cohesive story within like a short film. um, so our runtime currently is looking at about 35 minutes. Um, and so naturally that's taking a lot of time for Mr. Spooks to edit all by himself. He had to process like all the footage, put it together in the right order. And now he's adding sounds, and I don't know how much people know about like movie production, but there's like you have to have a sound for every single thing that happens in a film, from like the footsteps to a door closing to breathing sometimes. So he made his list of sound effects, and it's like over 400 sound effects he needs to add in. So that's like very tedious stuff, and between working full time and trying to edit the film, it's just like a lot for him to be doing all at once. So our post production timeline has been a lot longer than we anticipated, but um I told him like we need to be patient and do this like at our pace, the way Rabbit has been saying, to ensure that it's good, because he wanted to rush through it, and I was just like, no, like we invested so much time and money into this. Um, the least we could do is like take our time and finish it right. So that's where we're at with it. Um, and then our wrap party was really awesome. We had like all of our cast and crew come over, and we bought them food and drinks, and we played games. They really liked playing is it called Jackbox? I
Yeah,
think
like on the
Jack
Switch.
yeah. well, you can everyone can log in on their phone, and
Yeah, on
that
their
was
phone.
like the hit of the game. Like everybody loved, or the hit of the night. Everyone loved playing it. And then we ended up playing Blockbuster. Have you heard of Blockbuster?
Is that the board game?
Yeah.
I think we did play it once when we went to go visit you. I think.
Oh yeah, I think you were the first ones we played it with. But for those of you who haven't heard of it, it's so fun, especially for movie lovers. So it was like perfect playing it with the cast and crew.
Yeah.
Because it tests, like, you have to know like how to act out movie scenes, or like know quotes from them, or just know a lot of movies, but it's super fun. So it was really cool getting to play that with them, and just like hearing everyone's feedback about how like important the experience was for them. And I'm so sad about this. I did not take a single picture from the wrap party. That's
Really?
how like in my element I was, and I even gave this big old speech at the beginning telling everyone like, please take pictures. Like, I know it's annoying, but like this is so important to me. Like, my journey is like, it's not just for social media. It's like I love that we get to look back at everything we did through our social media and stuff. And I have like a couple videos that somebody got, but I did not get a single picture of everyone at the wrap party, which really upsets me. But that should tell you, I feel like that in itself is a testament of just like how much it meant to me, that like taking pictures wasn't even on my mind that night. So it was really special. Um, and yeah, that was my life. It still is my life, but right now it's more Rudy's life than it is mine. I'm just here for moral support. We do need to still do like pickup shots, and we might need to actually record some of the audio. The Foley is what it's called. So if you want to see that, I'll be sharing a lot of that process on my YouTube channel whenever we do get to it.
Nice. That sounds fun. Um, actually, I think it's a good thing that you didn't take pictures because you were like fully in the moment, enjoying your time with your cast and crew. So I think it's a good thing in my eyes that you didn't think to take out the camera or anything like that. You were just like in the moment, having fun and creating those mental memories and not those like physical picturesque moments, I guess. But I don't know. That sounds fun. And if anybody has seen the past Goalmates TGM videos, like from when you first started, um, those videos were really fun. Like your Friday the 13th little short that you made. So if it's anything like that, I'm sure it's gonna be good. And Rudy just needs his time to get everything going. But like I've said before, I am excited. I have not seen anything. I'm still in the dark. so I'm just like ready to see what it's turned into from like the first script that you sent me, which I know has changed, like you said, started from like a couple pages and now it like grew to a 35-minute short. But it's gonna be good, I know it.
Yeah, thank you. No, I think the only reason I'm bummed about the picture is because it was like the only time the entire cast and crew was together, like our
Mm.
final cast and crew. But I'm like, hopefully we'll be able to have a screening at some point and everyone will be in attendance. Um, but yes, it is. I would say it's a whole different ball game from our previous projects too. I'm very proud of it. Rudy like really outdid himself. We had newer equipment, better cameras, better sound, everything. So it's really just patience at this point. But I will say, for anyone who is like, okay, but like when are we gonna get to see it? Our goal is to hopefully premiere it on YouTube this spooky season. So no promises on the date yet, but I think that is more than enough time for us to hopefully finish it, because it is a Halloween film. I don't think I have shared that before. So that's like the perk of being a podcast listener. I don't think I have shared with anyone that it does take place over Halloween weekend. So it does have Halloween vibes. And yeah, sorry, I will never shut up about it. So you can move on. What else? What else have you been doing to keep this book alive?
So I did want to talk about one thing. It's not really how I've been. Well, I guess it has been how I've been keeping the spook alive, but it's not something that I have been doing. But there is this Instagram account called The Hauntline, and he is from the Southern California area, and he does like all the haunts. But every March, kind of like March Madness, he has something called Maze Madness, and it's where people can go on his Instagram and vote on his stories for their favorite haunts or mazes that we go through during the haunt season, and it's set up like the March Madness, where there's brackets or different brackets, and then all of them compete to come up to just one or two finalists, and then everybody votes on those, and there's like one winner. And I was very shocked by the winner, and I want you to guess because you did go
Oh
through
no.
it. Who do you think won? If you want a hint, another hint, it was a Universal haunt that we went through together this past year.
If you tell me Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm gonna riot.
No, it was the White Six.
Shut up. Oh my god, I'm genuinely shocked right now.
Right?
I'm even more upset than Five Nights at Freddy's.
I knew you were gonna be shocked and gagged for when I told you this, because I don't understand. I mean, I do. Okay, I did some research and I do understand how it won. But I wanted to talk about its competitor, which was Cinema Slasher, which is one of my favorite haunts. It's from Not Scary Farm. And I really hope they don't get rid of it until you come and actually experience it for yourself, because I really want you to go through it. Cinema Slasher is one of my favorite haunts. It's kind of, you like warp into this realm of horror slashers. So you go into like a movie theater, and then you go into the movie, and there's like different nods to different slashers. And there's this really cute scare actor, and his name is Stabby, I think I'm getting there right. And he's like a popcorn bucket with a knife, and he's
Oh, is that the one you took a picture with?
yes. So that's where he's
Oh.
from, and he's the cutest thing ever. And Cinema Slasher always gets like to the end, and always, at least when I've seen it, always loses, and it makes me so sad because it deserves to win at least once. I don't think it's won, but I could be wrong. But I was shocked to see that it lost to the White Six. But like I said, I did my research, and I found out that it's the WWE, I believe, and that has a cult following. Like, you do not mess with the wrestling fans, because they will come in droves and support whatever it is. So I think it just got beat out by those hardcore wrestling fans that kind of just like shot it up. But the most frustrating thing is he posted the results, and Cinema Slasher lost by like four votes. Isn't that crazy? So like
That
the
is crazy.
the 5 people that did not vote but love Cinema Slasher, this is your fault.
That's crazy though. I just can't believe it, because you would think, like, I understand it has the cult following, but you would think that it would be people that are not traditionally horror fans following this type of account. So it goes to show that there's a huge overlap in horror and wrestling
Boom.
fans, I would think. Which is crazy, because now that you say that, I realize that Halloween Happy posts about when she goes to wrestling nights too. And this
Oh,
whole time
really?
I've been like, it's so random that she posts this, which is cool because I love like how authentic Sam is. But now I'm like, oh my god, I'm connecting the dots. Rabbit, are we supposed to be watching wrestling?
I used to love wrestling when I was little. They were like
That is so
my drag
straight of you.
queens. No,
Oh,
you
that
would
makes sense.
you would think that it's straight, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't know. This isn't like very, very straight culture to me. To me, it's like they're putting on a show, because they're not actually like hurting each other. It's like a show. You're going to be entertained and like following the stories of all these like wrestlers, and they have stage names. I don't know. It seems like more like a drag shows to me, like hyper masculine drag queens,
You
like
are
going on
blowing my mind
stage.
right now.
Yeah, I remember when I was little,
Interesting.
there was like Gold Dust, and he was just like all in gold, and Undertaker, like the spooky one. Um, so yeah, I think it's just weird overlap of the fandoms. I don't know.
Yeah. It almost feels like drag for the straights, like safe drag.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that.
I don't know. That's cool. Maybe we need to have an episode where we just watch wrestling over one month
Yeah,
and
and I
come
think
back and talk about it.
the Wyatt Six were like the horror group. I don't know what why it says I'm assuming it's like a not a cult, but like a group of wrestlers that were on a team. Maybe I don't know. I probably sound so stupid talking about this.
I mean, it sounds like a what is it called? Like you're using good context clues there.
I know.
An informed
Yeah,
assumption.
exactly. So I'm assuming they're like a team and they're all like spooky looking and yeah. So that's all I could come up with right now.
And I can attest that they also smell like incense. So because that's what the mace smelled like, right? It just smelled like incense throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. Oh my gosh, I got tongue tied.
Yeah, yeah. So I just want to bring that up because I knew you'd be shocked about the winners
I
because it was
was.
like our least favorite from all the haunts. But yeah, how about you? What else have you done?
So we had a very special Halloween. We, as in the entire horror community, because it landed on Friday the 13th, was the day right before Valentine's, Halloween. And it was really cool because I've mentioned Ghouls Night Out trivia before. Good friends were hosting a Friday the night. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so tongue tied. A Friday the 13th trivia night, but it was a special one because they were hosting it at Horrid, which is also the horror shop in Denver that we have talked about on the podcast previously. Um, so it was really fun because me and Mr. Spooks treated it as like a date night. So I got like all dolled up and I had just cut my hair. So it was like really fun. Everyone noticing and giving me all the compliments. It's always like really nerve wracking when you like change your look drastically.
Yeah.
So it was just like very reassuring that we were like in this huge dark room because the Creepatorium, which is where they host their events, is like just completely blacked out so that like you could see the performances and stuff. And even then people were like complimenting it, so I felt so like reassured in my decision. So that was exciting, but it was just really fun because it kind of brought like a different crowd to Horrid, which I think from a marketing perspective is just so cool because they host such a variety of things within like the horror spooky spectrum that their events bring in different types of people, which I'm gonna nerd out for a second. But it's kind of like how we've realized that like we have different people listening to the podcast versus the people who watch me on YouTube versus the ones who watch me on Instagram, for example. And that's kind of like what they do with their events, where like some of them bring in horror movie lovers versus some of them bring in witchy people, and then others bring in like I don't know, burlesque or alternative. They also
Oh.
do like a lot of music stuff. So it's just like really cool that they've built this huge community, and within that there's like niches within like a larger community. And so this event was one of the first I've attended at Horrid that brought in a lot of like horror movie lovers because everyone was there for Jason. But it was like nothing but like deep cut Jason fans, it felt like everyone was wearing their Jason costumes. Um and then like the camaraderie was just so cool. Like someone was like talking, there was this guy that I had never met that was like, oh my god, I met the actor, and did you know he's like actually kind of short? But then like we'd have like callbacks throughout the trivia where it'd be like, oh see, I told you, or like I don't know, it was just really cool getting to go to trivia where it was like a bigger event space, so there were more people, and like it's just such pure genuine love for each other there that like everyone was just kind of like vibing. And I don't know, it was really fun. It was like the perfect way to come back into spooky society after the winter slumber.
No, that sounds fun, especially when you're surrounded by like-minded individuals and you all have like the same interests and you all know the same uh not things, but the same I guess inside jokes, or I don't know, you just know the lore of everything that you all went to go see. So that does sound really nice. I like that.
Yeah, it was sweet. I felt like I had more to say about it, but for some reason I'm blanking.
That's
But
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so for our Halloween, we I guess it's spooky adjacent. We went to a Halloween, not Halloween, a Valentine's Day party, which
Oh,
was
that's
held,
right.
yeah, it was at in Hollywood. So we went up to Hollywood to go to a Valentine's Day party, and it was a dress up or like a themed party. and it was dressing in PJs, but it could be like sexy PJs, or it could just be, like the two piece with the collar, or it could just be, regular Cookie Monster pajama pants. So it was just like dressed up for Valentine's Day. I was like, okay, that's a little like Halloweeny, dress up in costumes, and I thought of the cool idea to be the fembots from Austin Powers, to, I don't know, like dress up for Halloween. It's like a little cute little costume and lingerie. And we did it. So we dressed as fembots, and we had like the most fun out there. We got a hotel that's literally down the street, like maybe 2 blocks away from the venue, which was very lucky that we were able to get that. So we stayed there for the night, so we didn't have to go far. But the whole night was fun. And I know I've brought her up before, but Vanilla Mace is the one that put on this event. And yeah, it was just a good time. We went. They had like a little photo op too, where you could just get like props and stuff, and had a cute little background, and came out like with a little strip of photos that you can do, and it was just so much fun. It was one of the most fun nights. And also, Mensa Vangel's birthday is the day after Valentine's Day, so it was kind of like a combination of Valentine's Day and his birthday, and it was just like a big celebration with us too. It was
That's
really
really
fun.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
You should post the pictures. I think you posted like one far away, right? Like of the strip, the photo strip.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think I've actually made a post about it. Maybe I should. I could post about it on my Rabbit account. But
Yeah, just because it's so cute. I think people would love to see it. Also, so it wasn't a drag event then. I
no,
thought it was a drag event. Were there other people in drag?
no.
Did you get
It-
a lot of attention?
we did get a lot of attention. It was kind of exciting. Like
You see what I mean? I was
we
like
got out of the
halfway
car.
through sharing, I was like, I should not have said that out loud. But like it's nice to be reassured when you look nice. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. No, you're right. It's like when you're feeling yourself and you're like, okay, I'm kind of, I feel like I look good, but then getting the validation from other strangers is like that extra little cherry on top that you might need. But no, it was not a drag event. It was if anything, it was a Gen Z event. It was
Oh.
very Gen Z coded, like the whole thing, the whole night. But it was a lot of fun. We got out of the car in full drag, and people were just like immediately looking at us, and like, me, like I don't like a lot of attention, so like I could just feel all the eyes on me, and I got a little scared. But then they started like screaming and like, "Ooh, like we look so good," and blah 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 blah. It was very reassuring, because I don't know, it's just so scary going out, especially in lingerie. Like it wasn't like full lingerie. It was like a little, what do you call it, a smock, like a sleep shirt kind of thing,
Like a
like
nightgown, a
a
sexy
nightgown,
nightgown.
sexy nightgown camisole with little fur trim and all that. So it's like the first time I've ever gone out in drag without being in layers and layers of like pantyhose and clothes, and just to keep everything cinched. And that was like the first time going out with just a couple of pair of pantyhose and that camisole loungewear top. And it was kind of scary, but everybody loved it. We got constant compliments, and luckily I could still dance. Like we still danced on the dance floor. It was such a good time, and yeah, I can't wait for next year.
That is so fun. I love it.
But yeah, that was a nice little highlight for us. But yeah, how else have you been keeping the spook alive?
Um, I'm looking at my list. Well, I've been on my healthy for Halloween journey again. Um, but it's been really good. I don't want to share too much because I'm really happy I finally found a way to like execute this plan I've had for so long. Like I think for years I've wanted to like not use the Ghoster Squad, but like I guess use is the best word of just like for accountability and but like as a supportive space. Like it's never really been about like, oh, I want to use this for like content growth, for example. It's just been more so like the Ghoster Squad has always been a space that like I can lean on for support and that I trust. And I also want to like provide a space for them, but I could never figure out how to do it. And I finally realized like, oh, I could do it through Patreon because you can also offer like free posts there now, as long as someone like logs in and creates and signs up as like a free creator. And so I built it out into this whole little like healthy for Halloween house inspired by HHN because well, haunts are my thing and like Halloween is the reason why I want to be healthy so that I like feel great. I felt so good last Halloween, except the night of HHN. That was when like I reached my peak, and I don't know if I can afford to go to HHN this year, but my goal would be that if I could, to not feel that way. I don't ever want to feel that way again at HHN. It was miserable by the end of that week. And so that was kind of my inspiration for it, was like, I'm going to create my own little haunt, my little house, my Healthy for Halloween house. And like, I made the tiers based on like ticket prices. Like, the highest one is like Express Pass. Like, you get to skip the line and you get priority access and all of that. But I've just been really enjoying the process of that. And it's been kind of cool to like do it how I want behind the like this closed platform, I guess, that isn't relying on like an algorithm. So it's given me a space to just like, how would I actually create content about this journey without having to like do it, how it's going to perform on Instagram and stuff. And it's helped me a lot through my journey. So that's just kind of what I've been doing, is like staying in my own little world of Healthy for Halloween. I want to do more on social media, but I'm like practicing what Rabbit said, like when I'm ready, I'll do it.
No, yeah, I think it's good to have your support system with anything new that you start doing, just to keep you, like I said, accountable. Because, yeah, going from, like, it's a really huge lifestyle shift. Like, when you're not exercising and you're not eating healthy, it really is like a lifestyle change. And it's so hard because I've also been trying to do a healthy for Halloween journey. Um, because I also have health issues, like high cholesterol. That's like been my thing. Like every time I go to the doctor, every time they draw my blood, there's always like, yeah, really high cholesterol and blah 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 blah. And it is passed down to me from my dad and my grandpa, unfortunately. So it's something that's always been in the back of my mind. I'm like, I need to be more active. I need to go. But yeah, it is such a lifestyle change. But I've been doing good too. I've been also been inspired by your Patreon and all that. So I have been trying to do at least a mile a day. I can't run the whole mile yet. Okay, I'm getting back into it. I used to be in track and cross country when I was in high school, so that's like 1 mile would have been like easy peasy for me back in high school. But now, just like a few years later, I can't do it anymore. So now I go on what I call my walk runs. So I start walking, and then once I feel a little good, I'm like, okay, I can start running for a little bit, but I only run for like 10 seconds until my shins start like pulsating, and they're like, okay, we're done. No more running. So I try to push myself to go out and get healthy, and I do like a little workout when I get home, but with like arm workout and squats and things like that. So I've also been on my little Healthy for Halloween journey, and it's been going well. I feel like the month of March really, for some reason, March is like the month for me. Like, I want to start doing everything in March for some reason. Like, I want to start creating content. I want to start taking pictures. I want to start being healthy. So the month of March really, like, if I look at my Apple Fitness data, like all my rings are closed, maybe for like 1 or 2 days weren't. But for the most part, it's like nice and completed, which made me feel really good when I opened it this month looking back. So that was nice.
You know, this makes me think how we always have the ongoing debate of like, is witchcraft and astrology real? All of those things. You did pick rabbit because you were like the year of the rabbit for your name, and you're kind of like manifesting into a rabbit, just saying. So maybe there's something there where it really is your season.
I think it really is. I think Springoween is where I flourished.
Yeah, because
Weirdly
you
enough.
tend to get like burnt out already closer to Halloween, which makes sense because
Yeah.
it's just like so much. So yeah. But yeah, I also want to say that I do think like you kind of inspired me to bring back Healthy for Halloween, because I started it last Summerween and it had been in my thoughts, but then he tagged me, you tagged me on your post that was so cute, which we need to make like a collaborated post with this quote. And he wrote, "A
Yeah.
mile a day keeps the kukui away,"
Yeah.
which I'm like, what the hell? You can't be coming up with more clever things than me for my own journey. um, but yeah, so that was kind of what like sparked the idea of like, I need to bring back Healthy for Halloween because my community really does help me feel like supported in the journey, and it just helps knowing that there's other people there. So yeah, I didn't want this to be a plug, but if you guys are on a journey, like join us on my Patreon, patreon.com/Mandy Spooks, because I am really trying to build it into like a community focused space. And I think it's gonna take time, but slowly but surely, I think everyone will start to see how motivational it can be. I think
Yeah.
motivational, supportive.
Supportive. Yeah. Especially when there's other people out there doing it and you see them doing their thing too. It kind of like inspires you to want to go and do your own little exercise. And it, like, for me, I really set myself to like small rules. So at first I was like doing 10-minute walks. Like I would only go on 10-minute walks because I feel like it's so easy to accomplish that. So when I did it, I felt like, yes, I did it. And I felt accomplished for that day. And now I'm up to a mile, which only takes me like 15, 16 minutes to do. But I don't know, it's like the little things, and then having other people chime in, or you see like your videos or your posts, you're like, okay, it's time to go for a walk, or it's time to go do this or that.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, to a healthy Halloween.
Yes.
Okay, do you have anything else you want to share before we get into movies?
No, I think that's all for now. I think we have a big chunk to get through with this movie section, so I say we should jump into it.
Okay. So when we were thinking about what did we do over this break, movies. Movies. We watched lots of movies. Um so I think there's a few of them that we both watched, so I think we should probably tackle those first.
Okay.
But first, going off of the opening of Bone Mary Slash, I wanted to talk about The Bride. Um I have also talked about this nonstop on my other platforms, but I do know some podcast listeners are not on social media. So I did get invited to a pop up event at a coffee shop for The Bride. And then I got to go to the screening, and I loved it so much that I went to go see it 2 more times. My entire March was consumed by The Bride. Like, if I was not at the movies, I was talking to someone about it. If I wasn't talking to someone about it, I was watching interviews from Maggie Gyllenhaal. Like, it just was this like magical moment for me in time, like perfectly timed with everything in my life. So I'll let you talk about it for a little bit before I keep talking everyone's ear off about it.
Oh gosh, I thought you were gonna go in on it.
Oh, well,
um,
it's up to you.
no, because I saw your video, I think on YouTube, and you really did like a not a deep dive, but you really articulated everything that you wanted to say, I feel. And I felt so moved by it. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't really think of it from that perspective. But I really enjoyed The Bride. I thought it was a really good, is it considered a retelling? I would say, right? Like a retelling
Yeah, it's a
of
reimagining, I guess. Yeah.
reimagining. Yeah, there you go. Of but what happened if you brought back the bride in a different lens, which would be like the women's lens. And and yeah, I just felt it was a really good, not really just a monster movie, but of like a love story, but also not really a love story, because you're really like rooting for her more. I feel like Frankenstein was really just like really a side character in there to kind of push the story forward in a way, but it was really focused on I don't know, like the women's movement and what a woman goes through in real life, but even a monster like the bride still goes through things even after her death and everything that happened to her. So I don't know, it was a really good monster storytelling movie. I don't know, it was good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think so. I did my review like immediately after watching it the first time after the release. And I loved it initially the first time. but there were some things about it where I was just like, oh, I wish like this had gone differently or whatever. But then like every single time I saw the film, I like caught more information about the story, or I caught more details to the point where now I have like one question left about it that I wish, like, if I could dream of anything from Mandy Spooks right now, it would be an exclusive interview with Maggie Gyllenhaal. That is how much I love this. Like, not entry to an event, nothing. Like, it would be like, please give me a sit down with Maggie Gyllenhaal. Because I listened to so many interviews with her, and like just everything she said and did and talked about as a director was like everything I'm feeling in the moment, obviously with like my filmmaking journey. Um and I understand a lot about like all of the subplots. Like there's been so many complaints about the movie had too many subplots and it was doing too much and it was so in your face about feminism and all of this, and I'm just like, was it really though? Like I don't feel that it was. Like after my first watch I felt like not enough, but then by the end I was like, that actually is a realistic viewpoint of feminism, and being a female is like, no matter how empowered you are, you do still have weaknesses, and you do still put up with a lot from society that you shouldn't bear with, but because you just have certain limitations as a female. So I have like no notes on it anymore. Like my final question for Maggie Gyllenhaal is whether or not I'm interpreting those weaknesses of hers correctly, and like why did she choose to go about it that way? As far as like, there are so many points throughout the film where she's like groped by men, and it's like, why doesn't she ever like stick up for herself more? But my interpretation is Maggie Gyllenhaal showcasing that like sometimes when those things happen to women, you just like don't know how to react in the moment. And the reality is like men are physically stronger than us, so you can only fight back to a certain extent. But then also at the end, dang, this is kind of a spoiler. At the end, you see how strong she really is, which makes you question, like, why didn't that strength come out when it was for her? And so then I think it's like a commentary on how, like, women will do anything for people they love before protecting themselves sometimes. Um, so I have no notes left on this film. Like, it is a masterpiece to me. I will fight anyone who has negative comments. Like I have done so much research on this film. Like I know every Easter egg, how it's been compared to Bonnie and Clyde, like everything. And it's honestly just like a classic monster piece. Like the noir cinematography on it, like when you see the monsters on like the big screen within the film, were just like a
Mm-hmm.
dream come true for me. I want like those images like as posters. And then it's also like intertwined with the couple, like the monsters loving cinema together. And I was like, how could this not have been made for me? Like, I am delusional, but Maggie wrote this for me. I am the bride and Frankenstein is Rudy. Like I just felt so seen, and I don't feel like genuinely this sounds so self-centered, but I'm just like, I don't believe there's anyone in the whole wide world that like was as moved by this movie as I was.
Yeah, no, I definitely see how you relate to her so much, but yeah, I mean, I won't say anything bad. Lips are
Do
sealed.
you have anything bad? Like, part of me is like, I want people to challenge me on this because
I
I
think,
feel so like serious about it.
yeah, I mean, I guess the one thing that I think I did say to you when I texted you after watching it, and I felt like it was too long. But then you were like, it wasn't enough. So it's like I just felt like it was a little too long for me.
That's fair. And I mean, like, granted, like I said, I'm the target audience for this film. And I heard so many people say like there was just so much in it that didn't need to be there. But yeah, and it is like not a one watch film, like one time watch film. Like you do have to watch it multiple times to catch everything happening. Like there's a lot in it. Um so that's a fair point. Like I acknowledge for some people it's also just like that's not their cup of tea, but for me, like objectively speaking, from a filmmaking perspective, no notes.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Did
Yeah.
it do well in the box office, actually? I don't know that.
No, it was a huge
Really?
flop, like terrible. That's why I'm so upset about it and why I actually did go see it like after the screenings because I was just like, they need my numbers. And I kept telling people in my stories too, like, go watch it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
just
You
a
did.
bummer. I learned from Maggie Gyllenhaal that only 7%, it's less than 10, I think it's 7%, but less than 10% of movies made last year were by females. Less than 10%. And
Dang.
then we have these like amazing films made by women and nobody supports them and all they do is like go trash them. And I'm just like, so do you guys even actually care and support women? Because women aren't even showing up for them. Like women, we're tearing it down and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
That's crazy. I wonder why. Hmm.
Yeah. Sorry. That I know that that was a lot, but I had like a lot to say about it obviously.
You're good.
Um but on another more lighthearted fun note, another film we saw. I'm just going to go into this one cuz I know this is the one you're most excited to talk about. We recently saw Forbidden Fruits.
Yes, I saw it last night and I loved it. It really gave me, I know people are like saying it's like a Mean Girls, but to me it was more like Jawbreaker and the crafts meshed in together. Like the fashion was so good. Like I can't really, for some reason, I don't know when this movie was set. Like in my brain, I keep saying like it could be like a modern movie, but then also it felt like a 2000s movie in my eyes, just because the fashion was a mix and it was set in a mall. Like the whole setting is you never leave the mall. You only see scenes of them at the mall or in like the parking lot of the mall. But I was like, malls aren't a thing anymore, right? Like I could maybe think of one mall that I know of here in the Southern California area that is like indoors. So I'm like, I don't know if this is actually set in present time or kind of like a throwback to when there used to be like mall days.
So, I actually think that it is modern. I literally live across the street from a mall that is like super popular and bumping.
Really?
I think they do like I think they're surprisingly still thriving more than we think they are just because we're not the like target market for them. Um but the fashion was also like a lot of how like Gen Z is dressing now. Like they're starting to dress the way millennials did. Because they like thrifting and so naturally I feel like that's the cycle is like, well, it's our clothes that's at the thrift stores now.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I loved the nostalgia to it though. Like I did feel like it was a modern piece love letter to millennials, honestly. I haven't looked much into the screenwriter or anything for this. I know it's produced by Diablo Cody. But I did feel like it was a mix of all of the ones you said plus Mean Girls. And I really loved that vibe about it. It was really fun. It was a great film for millennial women and the gays.
Yes.
But I did feel like to a certain extent they were like trying to give so many callbacks to all those films that sometimes they didn't see it through. Like we saw a part where the girl was starting to like build relationships with each of them and it felt like the Mean
Mm-hmm.
Girls treatment where like Lindsay Lohan becomes like the head witch or like the head of the group, but then like that storyline kind of never went anywhere. Um but all that aside, like I do think it was a very vibey film and the payoff at the end was great. Like it definitely was a horror film by the end. Uh but yeah, I just felt like all the callbacks were amazing, but then they kind of just sometimes never went anywhere.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe that was intentional because throughout the whole film, I was even wondering, I was like, is it like a real cult? Do they actually have these witchy powers? Because it really felt like things were just happening just because they happened.
Yeah.
Uh, so it really felt like coincidences or like they were like affirming their little rituals that they would have. But then you get to the end, you're like, oh, okay, now it was confirmed, confirmed that they are like acting like witches, not acting like witches. They are using their power of intention to manifest all these things that actually will happen. Because the whole movie was like, well, maybe that girl died just because, or Pickle died because that's just the way it happens, you know. It could have been because it was an accident or whatever, but I don't know, the end really kind of solidified, like, yes, this is, your intentions are real, and this is what you manifested.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like, I'm sorry guys, we are out of practice. So this film is not very well known and we should have kind of led with like a
Oh, yeah,
summary of it.
that's right.
But I will do my best. This was not pulled ahead of time. But Forbidden Fruits came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago and it's already coming out of theaters. Another female film that was completely a flop at the box office. But it stars the girl from Riverdale, Lily Reinhart or something Reinhart, the lead actor from Riverdale. And it also has Love from You. I think her name is Victoria P, something like that. But I call her Love from You. And I don't know who the girl playing Twig was or the pumpkin girl was, but the film is basically about a group of girls that work at a boutique style shop. I would say like I don't know if it's a thrift shop or not, but it's like a very like curated experience at the mall. And there are these group of girls that think they're basically like the new version of the craft girls,
Right,
but
yeah.
it's not that spooky. Um, and all of this like chaos ensues of them. It does play out like the craft kind of like them
It does.
seeing how their like spells or hexes play out and stuff, which is really fun. Like if it is still in theaters by the time you hear this podcast, please go support it. Like yes, I had my little like nitpicks about it, but it's a really fun experience, especially if you are a millennial. It will give you like all the feels, because I agree on all the ones you said, like right down to the sweatpants having a moment in the film. Like when Regina has her downfall and she wears sweatpants, like so does the head witch of this. So it's just like, if you know, you know. What
Sorry,
happened?
my light turned off. Give me one sec.
Okay, Mercury in retrograde has struck again, if that's a thing still. We got interrupted. But I think I was saying, even though I had my nitpicks about Forbidden Fruits, it's definitely worth going to watch in theaters. Um, it had a very limited release, so please try to go support it if it's still around for you guys. If not, keep an eye out for streaming, because it is, I think it's going to be a huge cult classic, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I really feel like it is on par to be like The Craft. Honestly, that has like a really strong cult following. And I really feel like that craft scene where they're like sitting in the dressing room, passing around the boot with all their like intentions and their fruit or whatever. That was like a really callback to The Craft, because they were like earth, sea, and like they're different part of the elements, and it's same for them. They're just different
Oh,
parts
that's
of like the
true.
season of like the shopping season. And I thought that was so cute. um that's why I wanted to, like, at the end of the movie I was like, wait, what season are you? Like, what shopping season are you? Because I really feel like it could have either gone to apple, which is the summer season, I believe, and then pumpkin, which is the fall season. So I was like, it could either be either one, because I really feel like apple is like the head of the cult or the coven. And I really feel like that's like your calling to be like the leader of a coven. So I was like, it could either be cherry or pumpkin, or a cherry pumpkin, a mix of the two.
I'm the blend, baby.
Yeah, the PSL.
Yeah, that's true. But I also wanted to say, did you notice, this is the last thing about Forbidden Fruits, did you notice the callback from The Craft when Apple is having her moment where she's like talking about like, is she crazy or not? How she was framed the way Nancy is in The Craft when she's like, crazy? You think I'm crazy? Did you
I
get
did
that?
not catch that.
Okay, sorry. That's my filmmaking side coming out, but I was just like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." They're doing a callback to the exact same like camera frame the way they did
Oh
Nancy when
yeah,
she's like being crazy.
yeah.
So yeah, there's tons of cool little millennial nods that you guys can
Mm-hmm.
look for in the film. Um okay, what else did we watch?
So thinking back into time, I believe, when did the Bone Temple? 20 years later, the Bone Temple come out? I don't remember.
This year. I think it came out in January.
In January. Okay. I loved it. I thought it was like the perfect addition. It really gave me the Walking Dead vibes, like when the Walking Dead like first came out, and you kind of have felt like that anxiety of like these different groups kind of colliding in the post-apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic world. And yeah, there was like parts where you were like really frustrated with what was happening in certain scenes. And then the doctor scenes where he was like doing his research and trying to connect with, I don't remember his name. What was the name of the zombie? Ugh.
Oh,
Anyway,
it's been a while.
I know it's been a while, but it was such like he's like such an important character. I feel bad forgetting his name. But just like seeing their relationship kind of like grow, and then of course seeing his rock concert where he was pretending to be Satan. That was like my favorite part of the whole movie, of him just putting on this like elaborate rock concert. Yeah, it was so good. I love the movie.
Yeah, for sure. I think it definitely redeemed the first part because I was not the biggest fan of it, especially being a fan, like a huge fan of 28 Days Later. Um, and it left me, well, hold on. I still hate the Jimmies, but they make a lot more sense and they're not as like, I don't know. I just like felt so confused by it in the first one, which Mr. Spooks called it. He was like, this is going to be way different in the next one and it's going to make sense. I feel like they made sense now in the film, but I still freaking
Hmm.
hated them.
Oh yeah, I hated them. Yeah, for sure. They were crazy.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, I have a theory that I already forgot. Oh my god, it's been so long. But the head Jimmy guy that they crucified, I don't think he's dead. I think he's gonna
Really?
come back in the next film. Yeah.
I just realized something recently. He is the same actor from um what's his
Sinners.
name? From Sinners. He's uh I can't, oh my god, I'm still blanking on names right now. But he is the Irish vampire,
Yeah,
right?
Rudy told me, and I was like, "What?"
That I am so like I'm still shocked. Like I learned that maybe like a couple weeks ago. And I was like, that's him? Like, oh my god. That's a completely different character. He looks, well, completely different, obviously different hairstyles and all that, but still like his presence is just totally different in each role. And I was shocked to see that
Yeah,
was
for
him.
sure. Me too. When I found out, I was like, "What the heck? That's crazy." But I also did feel like the Jimmies had a cool little ghoul power moment too. That I was like, "Okay, I could root for her." So I don't know. That movie was filled. I will say the first one wrecked me with the memento mori, like all of that stuff
Yeah.
happening. This one was kind of like the fun version, and even though like I wish I could like mold them together to say like, okay, it's a good film altogether, because I can't pick which one I liked more, because like the memento mori part and all the crying I did versus the devil scene, like it's so hard. But safe to say the doctor stole my heart. I don't know who I would pick in a situation where I had to pick between Jim and, that's his name, right? Oh my god, I'm blanking now. Jim
Yeah.
and the doctor. Don't make me choose.
Bone
Oh,
Mary
that would be
Slash.
like the ultimate Bone Mary slash. Yeah.
No, well, it is gonna be a trilogy, right?
Yes, there's one more coming.
Okay. So I feel like these movies are meant to be watched together. So I feel like you could kind of like smidge your rating and lump them all together.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, on that note, I do have something I want to add, and I'm very mad at you because you had 5 to 6 months and you did not watch The Strangers Chapter 3. Um, so,
I I did it and I said I was. I'm a liar.
and
Because
you know the
I
whole reason why I watched them.
I'm sorry. I I I call it my hibernation era. I was in hibernation and not really doing anything. Um and I just could not get myself to actually get tickets to go watch this. And it's so stupid because I have the AMC stubs thing, so I don't have to pay for it. Like I just have to make the reservation and actually go. But I just couldn't get myself to actually get the tickets and go to the theater and sit through and watch this trilogy. And I watched a few videos about it to see like what people's opinions are about it, and it's nothing good. Like I have not seen one good review about it. So I'm very interested to see what you actually think about it, because I don't think we've talked about it that much.
I know. Well, fun little surprise for those of you who don't follow me on social. I got to interview the director for this film before it came out, which was like the one of the highlights of my Mandy Spooks career. Again, perfect timing. It's just crazy how the stars keep aligning for me. And I was really shocked because he was giving away so much of it. Like this was like going into premiere week and he was like talking about his choices about the ending and I was just like, "Dude, spoiler alert." Like it was just so crazy to me that he was like spilling the beans about everything, but in a way I kind of get why now because he kind of talked about the decisions he made for chapter 3, like what the characters are supposed to be thinking and stuff, and it added a lot of perspective. So I kind of appreciated it going into the film because I was just like, "Oh, okay, like I understand like a deeper level of what's happening." But I was right in the sense of I think I had said this at some point that these are also films that need to be watched as a whole and not individually. Um, and I get why chapter 1 had to happen, like basically like a retelling so they could go back and tell the origin and stuff. So it was entertaining. I do feel like she was being set up to be this like really iconic final girl, but unfortunately like I really just think the movie was like released at the wrong time with like misleading marketing to a certain extent. But as a whole, they're entertaining. They're not the best films ever, but I'm all about the vibes and I kind of liked it. In a way, I feel like chapter 3 should have gone like they already went a certain route and they should have gone harder on that route versus like tiptoeing in it. That's my only complaint is it would have been better if they had pushed like a lot harder into the route they were going without giving spoilers because someone had to ruin the fun and now I can't talk about it.
I don't mind spoilers. I'm eventually gonna watch it when it's like on Tubi or something. Or I don't know. Yeah, I'm planning to watch it. It's not that I'm not going to watch it. I will. But I'm just like scared to be disappointed just because I know that the second one, even the first one, I did not enjoy. And I had even said like even if they release a third one, I'm still gonna go watch it. Which I didn't. But I don't know. I think movies like these do need to be watched all together so you're not left with this cliffhanger and then the cliffhanger really isn't like paid off in some eyes, or at least for me it didn't really pay off. So like seeing her survive, I'm like, okay, like well, why does she get to survive and nobody else does, you know? When I don't know, it's just I guess I'll keep
I
my opinions to
will
myself
say,
until I watch the third one.
yeah, but I will say that what you said perfectly captures how the scarecrow feels in chapter 3. Why does she get to survive? Is
Oh,
kind of like the theme. And I feel like knowing that helps you enjoy it a lot more, which is why again I feel like um the directors kind of like he kind of like guided us with his conversation as far as like how to interpret chapter 3. Um there was another thing I was going to say. Oh my god. It was important too.
I'm sorry.
I'm totally blanking. You said something. What else did you say?
That they need to be watched together, and it's why does
Um
she get to live?
oh my god, it's going to bother me. I cannot remember for the life of me. It's gonna come to me in the middle of another movie, and I'm gonna have to be like, brain
Yeah,
attack, pause.
we can pause for it. We can pause for it.
But yeah, I'm curious to see your thoughts or hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I'll watch it eventually for sure.
Okay, what else? Did you watch Ready or Not too?
I did. I think I watched it the opening week, and it was so good. Well, the reason I wanted to watch it, honestly, let's be serious.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. Once I saw Elijah Wood was in the movie, I was like, okay, automatically I'm interested. I want to see what's happening here. Um, yeah, I've had a crush on Elijah Wood for the longest time. I think what really the movie that really, which is weird, and I'm not, I promise I'm not weird, that weird. But in Sin City, did you ever watch Sin City? And
No.
he is like this creepy little gremlin killer that doesn't speak and has like sharp nails. I don't know. I think he's like the coolest character. I don't know. I think he looks cool, but I don't know. Like something happened in that movie, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm crushing on this cannibalist little monster. But he did something to me, and ever since then, I've been hooked. Um, but no, Ready or Not 2 was like the perfect sequel. I feel like I felt like Ready or Not on its own is its own like world, and I feel like the second one really built on top of that instead of uh doing a different game. Does that make sense? So like in Ready or Not, they chose a game and kind of played through that. So I thought the second one was like, oh, they're gonna play a different game, go back to the house and play a different game, but it really built on top of why they play that game and to appease like the devil and all that. So I really felt it was a really good addition to the story. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, that was fun to see. She was cool. And the two little blonde girls, I get them confused. I feel like they look so similar, but
Really?
yeah. Well, to me, yeah.
That's funny because I think Samara Weaving looks like Margot Robbie. So when I
Yes.
first saw Ready or Not, the whole movie, I thought it was Margot Robbie. And then when Rudy was like, oh, it's not Margot Robbie, I was like glass shattered. There's no way that's not Margot Robbie.
Yeah, all these blonde actresses look the same to me. It's hard to tell them apart. But no, I had a great time watching this movie. The kills were crazy. The the whole setting, how they were like watching through the cameras was really funny. No, I had a great time, and then watching Elijah Wood at the end, kind of just like conducting everything. And I don't know, I just loved it. It was a good movie.
Yeah, for sure. So the other one is Catherine Newton, who is Lisa Frankenstein. So I love how this was like a full circle
Yes. Okay.
moment.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But yeah, they did so well together. And the movie was like surprisingly like a very heartfelt story between sisters too.
Hmm.
Like I had heard some reviews saying like the sister thing wasn't necessary, and I'm like, you have no heart.
Really? I thought it really
Yeah.
pulled the story together of like
Yeah,
why
for
there is another
sure.
person there. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to give a shout out to Spooky Ash also because she did this cute reel like she also had like a screening to the Arizona one, I think. But it was so cute. She took her sister and she did this whole little
Aw.
reel of like handcuffing herself to her sister, and I was like, "Wow, that is like the most clever way to cover a screening I've ever seen." And now I'm like really upset that I didn't see this with my sister.
That is a really good idea. That's really
Yeah, it
cute.
was really cute. But the film also had an amazing marketing campaign. It's funny because we talked so much about Until Dawn last year of like the blood bursting scenes, and they definitely failed at the marketing game with that because this studio went all in on marketing the blood. The LA premiere with all the influencers, they like literally poured blood on them during the blood scenes, and so that kind of like tipped me off that our event was gonna also have blood.
Yeah.
So I wore my bloody dress and my bloody headband, and people were also like freaking out over it because like they had makeup artists there. And you were the one who kind of put it in my head because I was like, there's gonna be a makeup artist. Like, what do you think they're gonna do? And you were like, blood? And I'm like, is it really gonna be blood? And then that's when I saw the LA screening. And I was like, okay, it's probably gonna be blood. So people were like, oh my God, you go all in on a theme. And I'm like, well, yeah. But I was just hoping and praying it would work.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah,
And
I
it
did see
did.
the videos of the LA premiere, and they were all wearing their like trench not trench coats, but like the thing to like protect them from water, like at Disneyland. So that was very intriguing. And then once I saw like the first 15 minutes of the film, like, oh, okay, I think I know where the blood splatter came from.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I'm just so like thankful that Denver has like stepped up their premieres a lot because I remember like when we first moved here, it was just like the screening, and I didn't realize until recently that they had started adding like photo ops and like actual like activities for the events. So I was living my best life. I'm so like I honestly genuinely guys like I was added onto the media list recently, like I think towards the end of last year, and now they're like a whole event too here. Like we're not getting blood splattered on us, but at least they had like the makeup artist putting the blood on us. We got cocktails. Like it was just so much fun. So I'm very excited to see what other movies have some special activities tied to their
Mhm.
screenings this
You also
year.
got merch too, right?
For
Yeah.
no, not for Ready or Not, but oh no,
Oh,
you're right. I did get a hat. I
yeah. The
got like
hats
a
were
little
cute.
hat that said hide
Hmm.
and seek on it. And wait, no, Ready or Not. That's so confusing. I can't remember now. I think it is hide and seek. But I was mad too because someone started putting like they had the makeup artist put the blood on their hats. And I was like, wait,
Oh,
that's actually really cute. And then I was too late by the time I thought of doing it. They had like stopped doing the blood.
oh.
But yeah, yeah, we've been really spoiled, but I'm living my best movie life. It's the best.
I know all your premieres that you go to look really, really fun, and I'm jealous.
One day, Rabbit, one day the universe will align and we'll be together.
Yes, one day.
Okay, what else? You saw some movies that I didn't make it out to.
Yeah, so I went to go watch Undertone, which was really good. Well, I'll say good. There was like it was I think it was a college made, like a college film, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But it was all set in one house. Like the whole thing was set in one house. And it was about a girl and her, I'm assuming gay best friend, um, recording a podcast together. So it was very eye opening for me. I was like, uh-oh, like, is this gonna happen to me? But if you haven't seen it, it's about this girl recording a podcast called The Undertone, and they do like spooky topics, like doing. Remember when we did, or you did an episode in the original Goldmates podcast of songs being played backwards?
Yes.
So this episode that they start recording is they get a tip from, or an email from some random person saying, or not saying anything. They attach clips of different audio recordings, and they film like 2 episodes going through all of the recorded episodes, and they're just listening to it, and it goes into the lore of certain songs being played backwards, or like demonic, or like spells to conjure up a demon. Um, and yeah, it was just really funny also to watch because it's like they said, they're recording a podcast. So it was very much of like things that we do before we start recording. So they're like sitting down and they do like not a countdown, but they're like, "Are you ready?" You're like, "Are you recording?" You're like, "I'm recording." And so like little things like that, I was like, "Oh, that's so funny." That's kind of like what we do. And then there's even things like, "Okay, just save it for the podcast. I don't want to hear your opinion. Just save it for the podcast." So
Really?
it's like little things like that, and then they get into the episode. So I really think you'd like that aspect of the movie because I know you haven't seen it yet. But then it does get into a little paranormally, a little spooky. Um, and yeah, I don't want to say too much and spoil like what's happening in the movie, but not a lot happens in the movie. And I think that's like my biggest thing is I wish there would have been more scares, or I wish the end would have kind of like paid off more. Like I wish something more grand would have happened at the end, because it was like a blank screen pretty much. Like you hear stuff and then a blank screen goes out. But the amazing thing about this movie is that it uses sound. Like once she puts on her headphones, like you could feel like the noise cancellation coming on, and you hear like the crisp sound of everything that's happening in those recordings. And then you can, like, when she takes off her headphones, you can feel like, okay, the sound changes. So it really plays on sound, and that was a really cool experience to see in the theaters for sure.
Dang it. I think we're going to go watch it.
You're-
I've been scared to watch it, honestly, but I think it is still in theaters right now.
Really?
Um, I'm going to tell Mr. Spooks we have to go watch it because he's working on sound right now for the film
Really? Okay.
and stuff. And so it just and then also you sold me on like, because you had told me about the besties podcasting, but now with everything else you said, I'm like, well, dang, now I have FOMO. I have to watch it if it's about us.
I know. It was weird. I was like, oh, this is kind of creepy. I hope we don't get an email like this anytime soon. Because I don't want to open the email. I don't
Mr.
want to
Spooks
die.
will debunk it so fast.
I know, right? But the creepy thing about it is that I think he lives like in another country. So, and she's at her mother's house, and there's like crazy things happening in her mother's house. And yeah, there's like this also like a weird tension between them two, where they kind of had not a falling out, but like you can tell they've been through stuff together, and like he's trying to be there for her, and she's like in her own little world. But I don't know, it was a good story.
Wait, so they're virtually doing the podcast as
Mm-hmm.
well?
Yep.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's weird.
Spooky, spooky. This reminded me, sorry, this is so random, but Rudy always says sneaky, sneaky, sir. And it's from like an Adam Sandler movie. I can't remember which one, but I'm going to start saying spooky, spooky, sir.
That's funny.
Okay, I'm going to try to get Mr. Spooks to go watch it with me because I will not go watch that one by myself.
Yeah, probably don't. It's a little spooky.
Okay, any others that you saw that you want to talk about?
I guess the last one I'll talk about is Shelby Oaks, just because I love found footage films. I don't know if I've talked about it before. I may or may not have. I don't remember, but it's found footage, so I feel like I have to say something about it. The twist in this is really good. It really felt like the reason why they're recording everything makes sense. You know, like in some found footage, you're like, why are they recording this? Like, this doesn't really make sense. But to me, it made sense. The twist at the end was kind of exciting, like the way it all played out. The only thing, just like undertone, like I wish the end would have paid off more. Like I wish there would have been like a bigger scene of like what happened. And sorry, I did the same thing we did with Forbidden Fruits. It's like, what is this movie about? So Shelby Oaks is about this couple. They're like an influencer couple or like a YouTube couple that go to this new home that they bought, and that's like their new channel, is like renovating their home and moving into this like house that's in the middle of nowhere. So they're recording everything and posting it online. But then they have a stalker that's like a super fan of theirs. And
Ooh,
I know
another fun one.
yeah. So it's like you're trying to figure out like what's happening, and they go missing. So obviously you're like, oh, it must have been the stalker. So they find all these tapes, and you're just going through like the day in the life of what they were going to post and what's happening, or what they're working on. Like they're working on like a little farm to like grow like vegetables and stuff. And you're just like watching their day to day, and then they go missing. And then another YouTuber comes out and starts like going through all the tapes, and like the story starts unfolding, and then there's like a little twist, and you're like, okay, that was good. But I wish something at the end would have been like a huge climax. But the story was good, in my opinion.
Okay. I think that's on Shudder, so I will be watching it now.
Oh, is it?
I had like no interest in watching it, and after your pitch, I'm like, okay, I'll add that one to the list.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Cool. Okay, so before we wrap up, I thought we could also talk about more horror movies that we're looking forward to this year. Well, not I. You actually thought of this. Me taking credit over here. I've taken the credit hog title this season.
Oops.
It's like the freaking spirit stick. Now I will go to Hades.
Oh God.
Okay, so in the near future, I feel like we don't have a lot of release dates yet for the second half of the year, which is driving me crazy because I'm like, how can a ghoul plan? But coming up, we have Blumhouse. My Blumhouse is back in the game, and they're releasing Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which looks like a much spookier take on The Mummy, so I'm really excited about it.
Oh, for sure. It actually looks like a horror movie, and I feel like the old Mummy looks more like an adventure movie
Yes.
with like a spooky man. But no, this really feels like a little demonic little girl. She's very scary. And what I found very interesting about this is like the campaign that they're doing right now is saying like Brandon Fraser is not in The Mummy. Like Blumhouse is like tweeting that over and over and over and over.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's actually like warning people like he's not in here, don't expect him, or if it's like a tactic to like
Surprise.
surprise you or to like force you to go watch it.
Cool. That
Yeah.
would be so cool though. I actually had seen it, but I didn't realize Blumhouse was posting it. But I will say that they are doing a halfway to Halloween special because Blumhouse like always celebrates Halloween with us too, and I cannot find information on what it is, but there's a halfway to Halloween screening at AMC, so I got my tickets. So I'm assuming it's gonna be like behind the scenes or like a little message from Jason Blum at the beginning, the way they do or the way they used to do during Blumfest. But I don't know what to expect. But I was like, count me in for the halfway to Halloween screening, so I'm excited about it.
No, that sounds really fun. I'm excited for you. Another movie coming out, Mother Mary. I can't get a good read on this one. I don't. Is it a horror movie or is it
I
like
can't
a
tell either.
thriller? Like I really don't know.
It is saying I think it said suspense on AMC when I checked, so I don't know. But I feel like it's gonna be one of those that's like so popular it's gonna cross into the horror threshold. I could be
Hmm.
wrong, but I'm excited about it because it's very pop girly infused.
Mm-hmm. No, that song that they premiered, I listened to it on my own already. It's so good. I don't know, there's something about Anne Hathaway. She's such a good actress, and just watching her be that pop star, I'm like, oh wow, there's something about her. She's very special.
Yeah, what was the movie? Bride Wars? There's a movie called Bride Wars with her and oh my gosh, another blonde girl. The girl from Almost Famous, Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate Hudson. Kate
Kate
Hudson.
Hudson.
Bride
Okay.
Wars is with Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway, and Anne Hathaway has this like little moment in the movie where she like does karaoke and steals like the thunder, the spotlight from Kate Hudson, and she's like singing and dancing and like she's so hot. And she does really good. I don't even remember what song it is, but it was really good. So I've always known that she has that like performance, that performer quality to her. So I don't this is her year. She's releasing like 3 or 4 films this year that are like huge
Mm-hmm.
movies. So I'm super excited to see it. I also heard, I know nobody cares, but I heard that the performances are inspired by the Reputation tour from Taylor Swift. So now I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this."
Yeah, I did. I don't know if this is like somebody commenting on it or if it was like something that the creators of the movie said, but it was like a mix of Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift into one person. And
That makes sense.
because I did get Lady Gaga vibes like from the opening like scene that they had in the trailer. I was like, oh my god, that's like a Lady Gaga esque character. So if that is true, I'm very excited for the songs and the outfits, obviously, because I'm sure they're gonna be
Yeah.
huge and theatrical, and yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, exciting times. Okay, and then next we have an anniversary. Shoot, I should have written it down. I think was it 25 years?
I don't remember.
Um I got this, guys. 35th, the 35th anniversary of The Silence of the Lambs. So it's going to be re-released in theaters. I've been seeing mixed numbers. I just know for sure it's toward the end of April. I don't want to give you guys wrong information because I keep seeing different numbers. At my theater, it's only coming out for 1 day.
Oh,
But I'm really excited to go watch it. I have seen it, but I haven't seen it since I was like 8 or 10 years old. So I remember certain parts of it. So I'm really excited to rewatch it in theaters. I think that's gonna be really fun.
yeah, same. I don't know if I've actually seen it all the way through. Like I remember it being on, like when you're a kid and it's like on TV. So I'm sure I've seen scenes from it, but I don't think I've actually sat down and watched the whole thing through. So yeah, we when we go to the movies, Michael and I, whenever this trailer for the anniversary comes out, we're like, we have to come see it. We have to come see it. So I'm very excited to see it too. So I'm down. It looks good.
Get your tickets because I feel like it's gonna sell out, especially if it's like a limited day release. I haven't been able to get mine because there's so many movies coming out that I'm like blocked out. Like I've
Really?
already filled up
You
my
already used
A
all your
list.
4?
Yes, so I'm like, dang it. So I'm like stressing. I hope that we get seats for it. But it's weird because that film is, everyone knows I have such bad memory with movies. Like if I saw it even a year ago, can't remember.
Yeah.
Like I said, this one I saw when I was a kid, and I still remember like so many scenes from it. Like the overarching story, I remember like the ending, I remember the hello Clarice. Like I remember
Mm-hmm.
so many things from it, and it never scared me. Like it wasn't a film that scared me. So I'm just like, interesting. I'm really excited to watch it as an adult.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Okay, what else do we have?
You put Obsession. I don't know if I've seen anything about that.
You haven't heard about Obsession?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Obsession, I actually don't know if it is a Blumhouse film. I want to check really quick because I'm not positive and I'm curious now. Um, well, dang, it's not coming up, but it looks really good. It is about a guy that basically makes a wish for his crush to fall in love with him, and she becomes obsessed with him, of course, as all wishes go wrong. Um, but it looks really crazy. Like she gets crazy obsessed, and at some point in the trailer, they say that like the only way out is death until he dies. So it's pretty crazy, but it looks pretty. It looks like a fun watch, which I'm excited about. And I like the design of the wish. It's like this little box, and it says like uh, "One Wish Willow" or something like that. Um, and I think everyone's gonna be really excited about this one.
Now that you're talking about it, it does sound familiar. Like he's in the car in the trailer, right? Or something
Yes.
like that. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. It like okay, that reminded me. Yeah, that one does look good. It looks really interesting. Yeah, I want to see that one now. I agree.
Okay, and you have some on there. I actually knew about some of them, but I have not heard about the next one on your list.
The one I have on my list is Hokum or Okum. It's with Adam Scott, which Parks and Rec and um some other huge show that's on Apple. Oh gosh, Severance. So he's in that. So he's a pretty popular actor, but it has really scary bunny guy imagery. Like once you see the trailer, you're gonna like, okay, well, what the heck was that? But it looks very paranormal-ish. I guess it's about a guy that goes to an inn in some town to spread his parents' ashes, I believe. And while he's there, like all the spooky stuff starts happening. So it looks really good. The imagery looks very scary. And I don't know if it involves like a witch or something, but I know it just looks paranormal-ish.
Interesting. I have seen the name, but I have not heard much about it or seen any Is there so there's an actual trailer out already?
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
there's one
crazy. I
trailer.
can't
Yeah.
believe I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Interesting. Okay. What else do you got?
I put in one that maybe isn't really horror, but it's kind of like a sci-fi thriller, which is Disclosure Day. So watching the trailers, I kind of didn't really understand what it was about. It looked just like freaky because it looked like they were getting possessed, like with those weird clicking noises coming out from their mouth. Um, so I thought it was like, okay, is this like a possession movie? Is this like a religious movie? But then I looked it up online to see like what the plot is, and I guess it's um aliens are real, and these like reporters or these people are trying to get the information out saying like aliens are real, they're coming or they're here or whatever. But then there's, I don't know if it's like the government or this group of people trying to stop them from letting the public know that aliens are real. And that's where like the possession part, I guess, comes in, is that they're trying to control them to stop them from spreading the news and information. So I don't know. It looks weird, but I'm excited for it.
Interesting. It does look weird because I was also getting like apocalyptic vibes from it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, I know Mr. Spooks is so excited about this one. I'm excited to see it because it seems like it's gonna be one of those like blockbuster summer hits.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I'm still TBD on like, I don't know, I need to watch it before I decide if
Right.
I'm excited about it, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it's such a different move or different, feels like a different
Yeah.
genre. So yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, I see you have two more. I have one more that I forgot to put on the list, but I'm so glad I remembered. Return of the Living Dead. It's coming towards the end of the year, but they are doing, I think like I'm reading Legacy sequel, but I'm not positive. But we did rewatch Return of the Living Dead over the break as well. And it's such a fun film. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with it. The teaser picture they have has a Christmas tree. So it's going to,
Oh.
I'm anticipating it's going to be like a zombie Christmas film. And I'm hoping it has like the nostalgic retro vibes to it too. That would be like the best way to do this. Like it seems like a given to me to like make it nostalgic and retro feeling. But that's what I'm looking forward to as well at the end of the year.
Oh, I have not heard of it, so I'm kind of excited too.
Yeah.
I love a good zombie movie. And based on
Okay,
Christmas, that's kind of scary, or like it doesn't fit like the genre, but I don't know. It should be good.
you know I love me a Spookmas moment,
A
so I'm really
Spookmas movie,
excited
yeah.
about it. Okay, what are your last two?
The one I'm looking forward to, sort of, is Faces of Death. I feel like this is like a Rudy movie. Like I feel like he's
How
watched
did
the
you know?
original. I just feel like I don't know. This is like his vibe. So have you seen the original, or has
I
he
have
shown you?
not. He has been talking nonstop about it. He's so excited for it. We have our early screening already
Really?
scheduled for it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Once I saw this, like, oh, this is definitely a Rudy movie. I have not seen the original, and I barely found out what the original really was about. I guess it's like this doctor that like shows you like all these different videos of people dying or being tortured. I'm not too sure. I guess they're going to incorporate that original film into the lore of this new movie that they're making. It's going to be like meta, where like that original movie exists in this world or something like that. I don't know, but it looks crazy. I might scream a little bit because I don't know, the body horror kind of gets to me sometimes, but but it looks interesting.
I'm like not excited for it, but I'm curious,
Yeah.
and I could be wrong. It is so cool, honestly, that you knew it was Rudy's kind of movie. That's kind of cool because I'm just like, I don't know if I would have known this was a Rudy kind of movie. Yeah, but my understanding is that the original one included real footage of deaths and
Was it?
killing.
I thought it was like
Um,
supposed like Blair Witch, where people thought it was real, but it was actually just all fake.
I don't
I could
know.
be wrong. I don't know.
We could maybe have like a bonus episode for Rudy to come and fangirl over
Yeah, yeah,
Faces of Death because I know he knows like all the information about it.
yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not too sure, so I could be lying too. So I don't know. It's just what I've heard.
Okay, and what's your last one?
The last one I'm looking forward to is a found footage movie called Hunting Matthew Nichols. It seems like it's right on like in my alley of movies. I love a found footage movie and I love a mockumentary movie. For some reason, like those two things together like really gets me going. But I guess the plot is it's either like a sister or a brother. Um, their sibling goes missing, and they've been missing for like 10 years or something. And they go and search for them because they believe they're still alive. And yeah, they go on this search to go find them. And I guess there's like satanic rituals happening, and that's all I got. I'm like cooked already. So like that's all you gotta tell me. It's found footage, mockumentary, and it's satanic rituals. I'm down. I'm hooked. Let's go.
That's hilarious. I feel like this one snuck up on me because I've been like slowly hearing about it, but I haven't really seen like a trailer or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be one of those sneaky shares
Mm-hmm.
that
Well,
gets
actually, I think it
popular.
was. Yeah, I think it was released. Like it's been out, but I don't think it's had like a theatrical release yet. So I think that's what's happening. I don't know. A lot of these I'm like not too sure like when they come out, but I just know I want to watch them.
Yeah, interesting. It's all yeah, it's just interesting how like some of these are they're like obscure horror releases. I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
early part of the year was filled with these like really huge releases. And now we're getting into this like slow period and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, tell us what we're going to get in the fall
Mm-hmm.
cuz we
What's
still don't
coming
have
up?
anything. Yeah. Cool. And I also just wanted to mention that I completely forgot to bring up when we were talking about our recap, something very bad is going to happen.
Oh.
I can't shut up about the show either. But I highly recommend it to anyone who's listening has not seen my stuff on Instagram or YouTube about it. It is a horror series on Netflix. It is 8 episodes, I think. I'm not a slow burn kind of person. I only stuck it out because we wanted to know what happens. Mr. Spooks was into it. first half is like a super slow burn filled with dread, like tons of dread. And then the second half is a huge tone shift into like Mandy Spooks vibes of like super fun, fast paced, chaotic. And somehow it all works together, and you get like every type of spooky vibe from this show, from like dread to jump scares to blood to paranormal to seances, a little bit of rituals without giving too much away. Like, it was just so much fun. So I just can't shut up about it. Go support the show, because I'm really hoping that if enough people watch it, which I think enough have, it's gone pretty viral, that we get a season 2. And that is my pitch.
It's on Netflix, right?
Yes.
I need to probably resubscribe to Netflix because I canceled my subscription during my hibernation of like, I'm not watching anything. So I
That's fair.
unsubscribed. So I don't know. I'm intrigued because I think also the actress is Cherry from Forbidden Fruits, like the Karen looking one.
Oh, she is in it, but she's not the main actress.
Oh, okay. So she's a
But I also am like in love with the main actress.
really.
I had no idea. I think she's part Argentinian something else, and she speaks fluent Spanish. So she's done this entire marketing campaign for the film in Spanish as well. She is probably like my favorite like upcoming actor right now. Like, I turned to Rudy immediately during her monologue towards the end of the series, and I was like, "Oh my god, I want to cast her in something. Like, I would love to work with her." And I haven't felt that way about like new upcoming actors in a long time, of just like, she's just so likable.
Mm-hmm.
She was just really good.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's
You
like
need to watch it.
there's something about her. Like her face just seems so likable and cute and nice. Like I don't know. I like her a lot. She is definitely one of my favorite characters from Forbidden Fruits. Miss Little Cherry.
Oh wait,
She's
we're
so cute.
talking about two different people though. But yes,
Oh,
to
the
both.
other actress. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the other actress, the leading actress, is the one that speaks Spanish and all of that. But yes, Love. It's because like everyone knows her as Love from You. But yeah, Cherry, Love. She's also from Hill House. Did you know that? She's
Yeah,
been in like so
Haunting of Hill
many
House.
things.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the underrated scream queen now too, because she's just been in so many horror things.
Yeah, I think so too. She needs more praise. I gotta
And
learn her name.
I know, I'm gonna look it up
We're
right
just calling
now
her
because
Cherry.
that's just like so bad of us. Victoria Pedretti. I
Victoria
did say
Pedretti.
Victoria P earlier.
Yes, you did. You did get it right.
But the last thing on Forbidden Fruits I wanted to say was that I also really loved. So there is a nudity scene with her, and I just like loved seeing a real female body. Like, we're so used to seeing these like stick figures, like these perfect models, and this is not me like cutting her down passive aggressively. Like, 100%, when I saw her I was just like, "Oh my god, this is so refreshing to see like a real female body that is just like a normal body." Like, it wasn't gonna give like females like weird feelings about their own bodies, you know? So that was like the cherry, literally, on top of the film for me. Like, I was just like, oh my god, that was like so refreshing to see in a film, like a normal female body that wasn't like touched up, or like that she clearly had to go on a diet for it. Like, it was just like her normal body, and there's something so empowering and sexy about that.
Yeah, that scene was definitely very empowering for sure. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, that's true. Her whole story. But yeah, so we have talked your ears off. This is new to us. We figured we'd let this run as long as it needed to go since you guys don't get to hear from us for a whole month. But please let us know in the comments on YouTube. I think you can comment on Spotify as well. If you guys like this length, or if you would like us to keep it shorter like we normally did. So we're open to feedback. But we are excited to be back.
Me too. Yeah, so happy.
All right, Ghosters, we hope you had fun at our spooky slumber party. Next month, we're going to be celebrating halfway to Halloween.
And remember, we're haunting you with new episodes on the 13th of every month.
Until next time, sending you ghouls and kisses. Bye.
Bye.